Good day! So today, I'm gonna discuss about the structures and functions of plants. Plants are very important in our environment. They maintain the balance in our ecosystem and helps prevent global warming and other environmental problems. So let's proceed to our discussion. First off, we have to tackle about the plant body. So what are under the plant body? First is the plant tissues. Plant tissues have two general types, the meristematic tissues and the permanent tissue. Under the meristematic tissue, we have the apical, which is located at the tips of stems and roots, which enable a plant to extend in length. The lateral meristem helps in thickness or maturity of a plant, and the intercalary meristem helps increase in length from leaf base. For the permanent tissue, we have the simple and complex. Under the simple are the parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. For the complex, we have the xylem and the phloem. So this is a picture of the meristematic tissue and permanent tissues. Next is the organ systems. Organ systems have the shoot system and the root system. Shoot system absorbs the light needed for photosynthesis, and the root system supports the plant and absorbs water and minerals. So the picture shows the parts of the organ systems. Next, we have the stem. Stem helps to absorb water, minerals, and transport products of photosynthesis, namely sugars from the leaves to the rest of the plant. So the picture shows the parts of a stem. Next, we have the roots. Roots has three major functions. First, anchoring the plant to the soil. Next is absorbing water and minerals. And third is transporting them upwards and storing products of photosynthesis. Next is the leaves. This is where photosynthesis takes place, and it is where the plants make food. So the picture shows the parts of the leaf. We have the leaf base, the axial, the stem, the venous, vein, tip, margin, and the petal. So now let us proceed to the plant reproduction. Plants have a unique process of reproducing another plant. First, we have the sexual reproduction. We have the self-pollination, or the gymnosperm, and the cross-pollination, or the angiosperm. Where in gymnosperms, it is a flower transfer of pollination in the same flower, while cross-pollination is transferring of pollen between two different flowers of the same. Angiosperms are flowering plants, includes grasses, herbs, shrubs, and most deciduous trees, while gymnosperms are conifers. Both produce seeds and have different reproductive strategies. Moving forward, so this is the cross-pollination. Next, we have the asexual reproduction. For the asexual reproduction, there is no mixing of male and female gametes. Asexual reproduction can take place both natural or artificial. Hence, natural methods include strategies that plants have developed to self-propagate, like ginger. Ginger forms masses of stems called rhizomes that can give rise to multiple plants. Next is the potato plants that form fleshy stem tubers, and the strawberry plants that form stolons, stems that grow at the soil surface. We have also artificial methods in asexual reproduction. We have the cutting, layering, micropropagation, which means the artificial process of producing plants vegetatively through the through tissue culture or cell culture technique. And last is the grafting. Next, we have the functions of plants. Plants are unique organisms that can absorb nutrients and water through their root system as well as carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. The combination of soil nutrients, water, and carbon dioxide along with sunlight allow plants to grow. So this is the illustration. Plants can obtain food in two different ways. First, we have the autotrophic plants. These are plants that can make their own food from inorganic raw materials such as carbon dioxide and water through photosynthesis in the presence of sunlight. So the picture shown is an example of autotrophic plants, which are the green plants and the flowering plants. Next, we have the heterotrophic or parasitic plants. These plants cannot make their own food and they are dependent on their host plant for survival. So this is opposite from autotrophic plants. Example of this is the dodder. Dodder is a hollow parasite that penetrates the host's vascular tissue. So it cannot make its own food and dependent on their host. Another heterotrophic plant is a saprophyte. Plants like this use enzymes to convert organic food materials into simpler forms from which they can absorb nutrients. Example of this is the fungi and other bacteria. Another heterotrophic plant is a symbiont. Example of this is the lichens. Next is the epiphyte. It is a plant that grows on other plants, but it is not dependent upon the other plant. Epiphytes have two types of roots: clinging aerial roots which absorb nutrients from humus that accumulates in the vertices of trees, and aerial roots which absorb moisture from the atmosphere. Example of this is the orchids. Last is the insectivorous plant. Example of this is the Venus flytrap. We all know that Venus flytrap has its characteristics or an image of like a trap for insects. And lastly, we will tackle about the defense mechanism of plants. Plants have defense mechanism to protect themselves in herbivores or other insects that may come to them. The first line of defense in plants is an intact and impenetrable barrier composed of bark and a waxy cuticle. Both protect plants against herbivores. Other adaptations against herbivores include hard shells, thorns, and spines. So these are some protection that plants have. With the cactus, they have spines. Others have thorns. And that would be all. Thank you.